Well, I think it's time for my first ever gun review. My first video review over a gun, not the first gun I ever bought. This is my Century Arms C93 Sporter rifle, and these rifles first began hitting the markets around 2009, 2010, I believe, and they didn't start off too well. There was a lot of problems with them. Lots had to be shipped back to Century. There were problems with the bolt, and from what I understand, Century used Malaysian military surplus parts along with parts from a few other countries, and they wouldn't always get the measurements correct and would put stuff together very poorly. So they kind of messed up in the early years with this rifle. And then fast forward a couple of years, I bought this in 2013, and this actually works perfectly. I guess Century really stepped up on their quality. Most of the reviews I look at that are more recent have a much more positive look on this rifle compared to the ones years ago. So Century has been making better rifles. At least this one, the C93. As you can see, this rifle is chambered for 5.56, and the operation of this rifle uses the delayed roller lock system. And as you can already guess, this rifle is a copy of the HK93, which also uses the same system. And as everyone knows about HK reliability, the delayed roller lock system is very robust and reliable. The magazine that comes with the rifle is a 40-round aluminum magazine. To insert it, all you would do is just slide it in like so, and you would slam this down right here, and then a round would be chambered. Slamming the cocking handle down, as you just saw, is also known as the HK slap. You can't really lightly tap the cocking handle down, you actually got to smack it pretty hard. And then if you want to change the magazine, just retract the cocking handle and you can fit it into a little cutout right here, and then the magazine release button is right here. Press that, and the magazine, well, at least this one, doesn't drop free, so you actually have to rip it out. And the magazine, well, it is a really tight fit. These magazines don't easily go in if you actually have to apply a good bit of force to get them in there. The iron sights on this rifle are typical HK style sights. The recoil of this rifle is extremely light. Of course, the 5.56 doesn't really have much kick at all, and then the delayed roller lock system also does help with the recoil. There's one thing to be aware of. This rifle will fling the brass extremely hard. I've seen it get thrown at least 20 feet to my right. So just be careful if there's anyone standing to your right when you're firing this rifle. I also only use steel case ammo when I shoot this rifle. Since it flings the brass so far and with such force, if you're trying to save your brass, it may end up damaging it a little bit. And I've noticed another thing on the steel cases when I fire this rifle. Here's just a Tula 223 round, and I fired this one out of an AR, and as you can see, it's just an empty case. No, not really any scratches or anything on it. And these are 2 rounds that I picked up off the ground earlier today at the range while shooting this rifle. Now, focus really close. If you can see that, there's a pattern left on these. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I mean, if it can do this to steel case, I can only really imagine how much it will hurt brass cases. And it does chew up the back of the case too. So that's another thing to be aware of. Here's a little bit better picture of the cases. The two on the left are from the C93 and the one on the right is from an AR. See on the back how scraped the left two are. So why did I buy this rifle? Well, I had some gift cards for Cabela's, and at the time Cabela's also just happened to have a sale on these. I bought it for about $500, and the week before at Cabela's it was running about $700. So I saw that and I thought, well, $200 off, why not? And I also just like the look of the rifle. I've always wanted an HK of sorts, but I can't afford that. This rifle, as I make this video, retails for about $500, and HKs are over $1,000, so it's a lot cheaper than getting an HK or a Vector clone or something like that. And I just wanted another rifle to add to the collection just for simple range use. I don't plan on adding any optics or changing the stock or anything like that. I'm just gonna leave it how it is. The trigger, however, isn't the best. It's just a polymer trigger, and the trigger pull is not too much of my favorite. Pull back and I feel the resistance, and I like triggers that break right instantly, but this one, there's after you hit the resistance, there's still some creep, and I don't really like the creep. I prefer my triggers to break instantly, but it still works. So I'd like to have that changed, but I'll just manage with this trigger. The muzzle device is just really a typical birdcage style flash hider, and nothing really fancy there. And the safety switch is in the same area as most ARs, so if you're really familiar with ARs, you probably feel at home with the safety lever. And it also comes with a carry handle. It is just basically a novelty. I don't really use it. So what do you get in the box if you buy this rifle? Well, at least this is what I got from Cabela's. It came in a long cardboard box with the rifle, one magazine, and the owner's manual. Not really much to it. There's some extra plastic stuffed in the cardboard box to prevent the rifle from rattling around too much, but other than that, you don't really get much. There are a few aftermarket magazines available. If you're looking to get another one of these aluminum ones, they're probably looking at $80 at least when I'm making this video, late May 2014. But ProMag also makes copies of these, except they're plastic, and those range from $10 to $20. However, they have a mixed reputation. I have some in the mail coming, and once they arrive, hopefully I'll be able to take them out to the range and give a quick update on them. As for reliability, I have to give props to Century Arms. I have put over 700 rounds through it. Almost all of it was steel cased, and not a single malfunction of any kind. So that's pretty darn good in my book. So I may end up making a remake of this review once I get more experience making videos. So it's really all I can think of at the moment. So I'm just gonna roll in some video of me shooting this at the range. So there you go.
Shoot the bird. We'll laugh for a while.
That's it, only box. I'm sorry.
This is the one.
Right.
Then you'll be able to.
Okay.
You are! Got the right grip. You all that clay in the tree?
Are you still having fun?
You sight right. You look through the sight.
I don't know what that was.
For that.
I think now we're actually
5 yards? Okay. You got our own target on there? You got this.